Hello, Ramley and other NFL family. Peo time here with another Rams video. And I know it's the off season, there's not necessarily a lot going on, so I thought it'd be fun. Let's take a moment and look back at the not too distant future. This is the top 10 Rams games of 2023. And spoiler alert, they won 10 games, and I'm not going to put an L on this list because of that. Because though like the Lions playoff game was fun, or the overtime game with the Ravens, I'm not putting a game where the Rams lost on the top 10 list when they won 10 games. So really, this is me ranking the top 10 wins of the Rams season. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We're going to have some fun with this video here and look back to last season. And if you enjoy this kind of content and want me to do other seasons, let me know in the comments.
Let's go!
At number 10, I'm going to put Week 18, the Rams at 49ers. I know there's a special place in my heart for this game. It was a really fun game, but at the end of the day, the game didn't really matter. It was cool because statistically, the Rams snapped the regular season losing streak against the Niners, and so full credit to Carson Wentz and company. Puka Nacua got the rookie receiving record for yards and receptions, so that was awesome. You know, him getting a touchdown was cool. I'll always look back fondly on this game, but at the end of the day, the game didn't have a lot of playoff implications. The Rams and 49ers were both resting most of their starters. So for that reason, I'm putting it at number 10. I did debate putting it a little bit higher, but when I compared it to just the impact of, its results and outcomes versus the rest of the games, I had to put it at number 10, and I think rightfully so. Number 9, the Rams versus Commanders. This game, the score, it's a one-score game. However, this game was not as close as the score would dictate. The Rams had some awkward turnovers in this game. Demarcus Robinson had a big game and continued, his streak, getting a touchdown in this. So it was a fun game. Any game the Rams win, I'm going to say is a fun game. But, Jacoby Brissett came in garbage time and kind of caught the Commanders back up. So I remember kind of being like, oh, I don't like that. But at the end of the day, this game, I'm putting it at number 9. It was definitely not one of the better performances by the Rams as a whole on the season. However, they still won, so it still makes the top 10. Number 8, and though it's at number 8, which might be kind of low, I debated putting this one higher because this is the game that Kyren Williams really, I think he cemented himself as the next great Rams running back and a certified Cardinal killer, which always love that. He also got injured in this game, which we don't like that. But this was the Cardinals' Josh Dobbs-led game. This was still at a point in the season where the Rams' offense was finding its identity. Early in the year, though, this was definitely a strong performance by the Rams' defense. But I'm going to give Week 6 the number 8 spot. Rams versus Cardinals. Let's go. And if you like the Rams versus Cardinals in Week 6, you're going to love them in Week 12. Yes, that is the number 7 spot. When I was making these lists, these Cardinals games were probably 2 of the hardest to place of where they put it. But I'm putting them at 8 and 7 here respectively. Beating the Cardinals, I know Ram fans joke about it a lot, but it is a big deal. They are a division rival. And I love that Sean McVay has had their number in terms of a coaching scheme for many years now. He hasn't lost many games to them at all. But I put the Rams Cardinals at number 7. This Week 12 game, Kyler Murray is back in this game, which is why I bumps it up a little bit more. This was in the Rams' stretch of wins down the season that they really needed to get into the playoffs. So still an important game. But yeah, coming in, number 7, Rams at Cardinals, Week 12. Number 6, just outside of the top 5, is Rams versus Seahawks, Week 11. If you watch this game back, this was a grind. This was a close game. The Rams only won by 1 point. Neither the Seahawks or the Rams were able to have 300 total yards in offense, So this was a lower scoring game, a true division rival slugfest. However, the Rams came out on top. The field possession battle was huge this game. So Ethan Evans punted the ball. Each team had 1 turnover. And the Rams actually lost the time of possession in this game. So to win a close, low-scoring game like that, even though the Seahawks had the ball for more time, that's a big win, which is why it is where it is. However, the Rams didn't necessarily have their best game of the year, so I put it here at this number 6 spot. Number 5, Week 17, Rams at Giants. The Rams went into this game as a heavy favorite. However, if you watch this game, this was a nail-biter and was too close for comfort. Kyren Williams had 87 yards and 3 touchdowns in this game, which ultimately was the deciding factor in the Rams winning this game. However, if you remember, special teams, especially in the kicking game, were a huge issue in this game, and the Giants had a ton of opportunities to upset the Rams in this game, and you could argue the Giants lost this game more than the Rams won it. I debated putting this one higher and lower on this list. The main reason I didn't put it higher is just the Rams defense struggled in this game at times to put away an inferior opponent on offense, and also the Rams offense had 3 turnovers in this game, and of course the biggest factor is the Rams special teams just really struggled in this game. I didn't put it lower because I can't stress enough the impact this game had on the Rams playoff chances, because it was against an NFC opponent. And if they would have lost this game, there's a very good chance the Rams wouldn't have made the playoffs at all. So very thankful the Rams were able to sneak it out, win 26-25. And that's why I feel comfortable putting it number 5 on this list. Number 4, Rams versus Saints, Week 16. When I think back to this game, I think of the initial hype before the game. This felt like a playoff game. Both the Saints and the Rams needed this win in order to advance their playoff chances dramatically. Again, being NFC opponents and in the thick of the wild card race. However, I will say this was one of the Rams' more complete games. They won 30-22, but again, the score is not close to what this game actually was. The Rams controlled this game pretty much the whole way, except for garbage time in the 4th quarter. Stafford had one of his best games of the year, over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kyren Williams had over 100 and a tutty. Puka Nacua had a monster game, 9 receptions, 164 yards, and 1 touchdown. Rams offense as a whole had over 450 yards on offense. Just a real balanced passing and ground game. This game is a Sean McVay coached team playing at its finest. Would love to see more of this in the future. The only reason it's not higher on this list is I think the games in front of it just had a little bit more impact on individual players and the rest of the season as a whole. But this is still a very impactful win. Big win on a Thursday night game, prime time. And I think that's when people really started to, take the Rams serious as wild card contenders. Number 3, Rams at Seahawks, Week 1. Yeah, this game was going to be pretty high. I debated making this game number 1, and to be honest, the top 3 of these were just some of my favorite games of the Rams this year, so it was tough. If you asked me a different day, I might change my mind, but I'm putting this one here at number 3. It was Week 1. The Rams had an unproven defense. They had, no one knew who Puka Nacua was necessarily, unless you were a Rams fan following in the offseason or preseason. And here we goes. The Rams offense was over 426 yards, and the defense limited the Seahawks to less than 200. They only had 180 on the day. Puka Nacua in his first game as a rookie had 10 receptions for 119 yards. Tutu Atwell, he was riding the train that day, had 119 yards on 6 receptions. Higbee was involved, and even Cam Akers had a touchdown. Kyren Williams had 2 touchdowns. This was a beatdown, a division rival in their own house, and I loved it. So fun. debated putting it at number 1, but what a great way to start the year and, start, the legendary season that Puka Nacua had, and the great year that Kyren Williams had, the great year that Matthew Stafford had. And just, this was kind of a like, oh yeah, remind the NFL the Rams are a good team, watch out. And, they put 4 quarters of good football together in that first game of the year against the Seahawks. Love that so much. And ultimately, I will always remember this game. But of course, also this game being an NFC West Division game, an NFC game, it had major implications later on in the year, and Rams probably don't make the wild card if they don't win this game. All right, this might be controversial for my top 2, but hear me out and then let me have it in the comments below. I want to hear your opinion on this. But I put the Rams versus Browns at number 2 and the Rams at Colts at number 1. And you might be thinking, what? Those are AFC opponents. Well, just hear me out. So for number 2, I put the Rams versus the Browns here because this was really a complete games by the Rams. And I felt like this was a win that the team was able to build off of. And they won so many games because of the momentum they got from this game. Cooper Kupp got a touchdown. Robinson got a touchdown. Nacua got a touchdown in this game. And Stafford had a big game. The defense had a big game. They got a safety in this game. And I know there was like the narrative of Joe Flacco and him winning comeback player of the year, which I still think Matthew Stafford should have won over him personally.
Okay, fine. I'm cool. I'm fine.
But again, it was just a fun game if you were a Rams fan. They're playing in SoFi. The Browns were an injured team, but still playing well at a high level. I'm a big fan of this game, looking back fondly of it. When I was ranking these, I think I started with this game at number 8, but the more I thought about it and just reflected on it, it kept moving up the rankings as I did this list. And I'm proud to put it at number 2. And if you don't like it, that's okay. Tell me in the comments below. Number 1, I had to put Rams at Colts, number 1. What more do you want in a football game for your team? They won in overtime. Your rookie sensation, Puka Nacua, got his first NFL touchdown as a game winner in overtime. And if you don't think that's the start of a Hall of Fame legendary career, I don't know what you're looking for in your rookie wide receiver that was drafted in the 5th round. But more so than that, it was a fun game. The Colts played well. The Rams played really well. It was 2 teams playing at a high level early in the year. There were mistakes on both sides. There were good plays on both sides. And I just remember the tension you feel inside your chest when you're like, oh man, it's going to overtime here. Puka had 9 receptions for 163 yards, and of course that game-winning touchdown. Higbee was involved. Matthew Stafford over 300 yards and touchdown. Kyren Williams had 2 touchdowns and 103 yards rushing. Rams had over 460 yards of total offense. The knockout against this game, of course, is the Rams giving up 15 points in the 4th quarter to the Colts. But I think it is one of those situations you have to give credit to the Colts. They played well in the 4th quarter to come back and force this game into overtime. And when the Rams won in overtime, I was really thankful because without this win, the Rams don't make the wild card because they needed those 10 wins. That is going to be my top 10 Rams games or Rams wins of 2023. This was a really fun look back at the season that was. Excited for the season that is to come. Let me know your thoughts and comments below, and let's talk some Rams. As always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams.